Hi guys! I wanted to show you my new background because I'm in my den, which is where we store a lot of stuff that we need to go through and donate. Tons of baby stuff, and we aren't going to have any more babies. We just need to take time and go through it. But in the meantime, I wanted to get a backdrop because it just looked pretty messy behind me, and I felt like it was distracting. I don't know if you found it distracting, but anyway, I have this backdrop, and then I have a second one coming, which is also flowers because I love flowers, and so that's what it's gonna be. This isn't really a video with too much of a topic other than just chit chat, I guess. Excuse me, I just finished a book that I want to do a review on. I can't decide if review is the right word. I actually Googled book review and what it entails, and it's pretty much just giving a summary of the book. I don't really see, at least in my Google search, that it talks about giving your opinion on the book, which is more of what I want to do. So my intention is to go through the book, read over some highlighted parts, talk about how it relates to me, and share that information because you might relate to it as well, and maybe you want to check out the book for yourself. So if you have any ideas of what I should call that, please leave it in a comment below. I am trying to take care of my mom, or help take care of my mom from a distance. She is in a memory care facility. She has dementia, and I am 100 miles away. So today, for example, I'm not able to take her to her doctor's appointment. Luckily, my brother lives in town there, so he can take her, but I wish I could take her. Right now, I take her things like once a week that she needs when I'm down there for work. And I miss seeing her with COVID and the quarantine. She has been in lockdown essentially since March, and she hasn't got to go out and do anything, so she's feeling pretty stir crazy. She's still cognitively aware pretty well. She was having some wandering issues when she was living alone, and that's where it was tough. But since being in the memory care facility and being around people, she seems to be doing a lot better. It's first world problems, I guess, is what they usually say, but I have an appointment to get my hair done in July because I've got quite a lot of grow out. You can see my ponytail bun. Mom bun is a different color than my grow out. It had grown out a lot before, and then this all happened, so I'm well overdue. I think I'm going to go back to a lighter blonde again for fun, and the appointment's actually on my birthday, which is July 10th, and I'll be turning 40 on July 10th, so that brings up all sorts of feelings. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I don't know. I mean, I'm still processing what it means to be 40, what it means to me to be 40, so we'll see. With the quarantine in place and having such, little toddlers, it's hard to, get away, like just Dan and I. So I'm not sure if, an overnight stay somewhere is in the cards. We might have a couple people that could babysit for us, but I don't know. I don't want to upset the girls too much, and so we'll see. Maybe next year. I think we'll be able to go to lunch somewhere at least, and I don't know if movie theaters will be open yet, but we might be able to see a movie or something. And yeah, on my actual birthday, I'll be going to Eugene because my hairdresser is in Eugene, and so I can go shopping or try and have lunch with a friend or something. I mean, it's, we'll see. Things are still kind of limited as far as what's open and what's not. Work has its moments of being stressful and less stressful. So I feel like I'm chugging along. It feels like I'm crossing stuff off of my to-do list. So that feels nice. I miss going to bookstores. On Sunday, which was Father's Day, Dan spent the day with Dana and went to go see his dad, and then I spent the day with Delta. And to get out of the house, we went to the mall and walked around. She was getting kind of fussy. She didn't really want to be in the stroller, which is kind of unusual for her. Usually she doesn't mind just kind of strolling around, but for whatever reason, she didn't want to be in the stroller. So I would have liked to look around Barnes & Noble a little bit more. I mean, those of you that have been following me for a while, you know, I just love books. So especially nonfiction books, like self-help books, things like that. I'm always trying to better myself, and I find it interesting to read self-help books. I would love to write one someday. And I go back and forth between new books, you know, what's the latest thing that's come out, and then old books. So books from like the 80s, primarily the ones that I've been looking at are from the 80s, maybe the 90s, and kind of looking at the way eating disorders were handled then. Sometimes I feel like there's some wisdom there that people don't really follow now, but that I relate to. So that's going to be one of the first books that I review, or whatever we want to call it, is a book originally written in 1985, although she's written a few books throughout. I think her most recent book was it was definitely in the 2000s, but I can't remember exactly when. And then the next series of books that I'm going to read are from a woman that, again, wrote her first book, I think, in the 80s. And then she has a more recent one. I'm not going to show you the title yet, but I'm curious of the date. I think it was reprinted. So originally it was written in 1989 and then reprinted in 1993. This cover looks newer, so I'm sure it was reprinted again. I did look up those books to see if there was a current copyright, to see if maybe I could just read the book on video, but it appears that the copyright was renewed, which is, you know, I think understandable. I have 2.5 pages of book ideas that I can't wait to, or video ideas that I can't wait to film. I am making Dan a casserole this afternoon, so I will be filming that. I'm going to play around with cooking videos. Now that I know how to do voiceovers, I think it might be fun to do voiceovers versus talking live as I'm cooking, but maybe not. So I'm going to play around with it and go from there. I don't do a ton of cooking right now. I'm a snack eater, which maybe is part of my problem. So especially with kids and being so busy, I tend to just eat while standing. I make them a lot of like toddler foods, which isn't great either. So that's a goal, especially for this week, that I want to work on, is to come up with a simplified meal plan and try to have us all eat the same foods. Dan will be a little bit different with his diet. He's on the keto diet for diabetes, so he just does a lot better with the high fat, low carb lifestyle and keeps his numbers more regular. So I've debated on doing keto, but it just feels a little bit extreme for me, and I'm just not there yet. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, so that's it for now. I'm just gonna hang around at home today, do some videos, and clean up because it's definitely time to clean up around the house, and kind of enjoy the quiet day while the girls are in daycare. So thank you for watching. See you soon.